Can someone tell me what the fuck might have happened? Experienced by Gracie Strange. I don't know where else to post this. It's kind of long, but if you know a lot about glitches, hopefully you can help me get peace of mind. So yesterday I worked a 9-hour shift as usual, 8:30 to 5:30. I work at Walmart and I'm usually in the food sections, stocking and helping customers. Now keep in mind, I got a good amount of sleep the night before and I'm not under a lot of stress, so I don't think I was daydreaming or hallucinating any of this. So at around 10ish, I helped a woman find Go Veggie Cheese. We had a conversation about how the cheese was made completely out of vegetables, and I thought that was a pretty neat alternative. The second person I helped was a young man. I also thought he was hot, so I definitely remembered his face. He asked me to show him where we kept the non-refrigerated cases of Gatorade. Easy peasy. I finished stocking my aisle when another person came up to me. She had beautiful neon purple hair and a cute voice. She just wanted to know where the bathrooms were. All of this happened in between 10 and 1:15 when I took my break. That's like nearly 3 hours. I came back from my break at 1:50 and I went back to stocking. Around 4, and I shit you not, my friends, the same woman came up to me on the opposite side of the aisle this time and asked me the same fucking question. Upon greeting her, I said, "Hey, you're back." She chuckled and just gave me a strange look and continued asking for help. Okay. I walked her over to the deli and brushed it off. We have regulars come in all the time. She probably just forgot she asked me. About 20 minutes later, Mr. Long Tan and Handsome asks for the location of his sports drinks again. Now I felt uneasy. Maybe they never left the store? It had been almost 4 hours at this point, though. Am I losing it? I mean, naturally, I'm an introverted person. I like observing, people watching. And I notice little things and remember them for no reason. After that guy, I really started looking around. And I noticed random little things happening again. The Pepsi guy pushing his cart to the back room and almost colliding with an elderly customer. Happened twice, once before my break and again after. A teenage guy in Adidas track pants circling the aisles looking for the group of friends he came in with twice. The elderly regular in a wheelchair asking my manager if we have his jarred sauerkraut back in stock. Twice. Maybe they came back in, right? But the icing on the fucking cake. Purple-haired, cute voice asking where the bathroom is. Have I lost it? Did time go into loop after my break? I don't know if this has shit to do with anything, but for the past few days I have been doing meditations and law of attraction related things to speed up time, just to make work go by faster. But this wasn't faster. This was full fucking circle. I'm scared, but also curious. I'm going to do the exact same things before work on Friday just to see if it happens again. Meaning, go to sleep at the same time, do my meditations, take the same shortcut on my route to work, everything. But hey, maybe it was just a coincidence. Edit. Wow, thank you guys for all the support and suggestions. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but now that I have some possible scenarios, it's much easier. Also, there's mixed comments, so let me clarify. I understand that this is the internet. You honestly cannot believe everything you read. So if you're skeptical, please take my story with a grain of salt. I'm just looking for some insight from other points of view. That's all. I met my homeless, drugged-out doppelganger, and my wife was there to confirm it. Experienced by Metric79. So, this happened a few years ago in San Diego. My wife and I were walking around Ocean Beach, and I decided to stop into a little hole in the wall Mexican place for some cheap tacos. Now, as we were eating, this homeless guy stumbled in from the street, and normally we wouldn't have paid much attention, because in OB, this is a very normal occurrence. But this dude was ridiculously wasted and barely coherent. But as he was shuffling over to make an order, we saw his face. It was me. No mistake, no confusion. He was a very disheveled, dirty, and hairier me, but in different clothes. My wife and I looked at each other like, "Are you seeing this?" And I just kept staring at him, trying to convince my brain that it was an illusion. I have a few semi-distinctive features. I'm kind of tall, 6'3". I have big lips and a sharp nose. The guy had my exact face and build. He was struggling with getting money out of his pocket at the register, but eventually he got his burrito and sat down directly facing us a few booths away. So we ended up getting an even better look at him as he ate his food. It was pretty gross because his mouth wasn't working right. Probably because of the drugs. And another weird detail that I reflect upon now is that I couldn't bring myself to talk to him. Like, I'm usually very gregarious, and I never have problems striking up conversations, so, I wanted to get a picture of us together and ask him his name, but I was stuck there, just staring at him. And my wife and I both felt the discomfort and decided to leave. I'm still kicking myself for being such a chicken about it. The experience freaked me out. I felt like I was in some Ebenezer Scrooge situation, and I was being shown how I could have ended up had I made different decisions in life. Edit. For sure, I'm not adopted. I look too much like my mom and act too much like my dad, and I have the birth certificate. And I was not listed as a twin, and twins don't even run in my family. I believe that I died 2 days ago. Experienced by Mellow Chroma. I'm posting this here because I still can't quite understand what happened, and really I just need to help getting a grasp. I'm a pizza delivery driver at Pizza Hut, and I have been for about 2 months. The other night I was on a delivery and had to make a left turn at this rather large intersection onto a street called Mulberry. I haven't been driving terribly long, and I got my car 2 weeks before the job. Prior to that, I'd had my license for 2 years, but never really owned my own car. That's my way of explaining that I'm still not the greatest driver. I had a gap to turn, and I went for it. There was another car coming, but it was far away at the time. Halfway through the turn, I realized that this intersection was far larger than I anticipated, and I believed I was about to collide with the other car coming. I remember being terrified and feeling entirely as though this was it. The headlights came nearer and nearer, and it was like time fucking slowed. I thought the car hit me, and for a second I thought I was gone. But when I came to, I was on Mulberry, and everything was fine. I looked behind me, and there was no car. Tears streaming down my face like I had been sobbing the whole time. I felt myself die in that instance, or what I thought dying would feel like. It was nothingness, all in an instant. I understand the most logical answer is that I simply got really lucky, and that's what my wife says as well. But I wasn't sobbing when I made that turn. Now, this moment has been keeping me up at night. A moment occurred where I made an awful mistake that should have cost me my life, and it didn't. And it feels like I robbed the universe. Like I avoided an event that was set in place. And nothing has felt right for me ever since then. For 6 months last year, I lived in north of Spain. About a week before I was going to move back to Ireland, my friend and I were at a house, having dinner and drinking a little. I was renting an apartment in the city, and my roommate was an older lady, maybe in her 50s. I'm 20. And that night, my roommate left to go have dinner with her friends. Now, about a minute after she left, someone buzzed on our door to be let into the building. I looked at the camera, but I didn't recognize the woman. She looked to be in her late 20s, early 30s, so I just assumed it was one of my roommate's friends, and she was coming to meet her or something like that. I buzzed her into the building, assuming they would meet in the lobby. At first, I didn't buzz her in because I didn't recognize her, and she walked away from the door, but then I hit the buzzer as soon as she walked away, and then I, myself, walked away from the camera, meaning I couldn't see if she actually entered or not, assuming that if she didn't enter, she would just call or text my roommate. And boy, was I wrong. This woman came up to my apartment building on the 6th floor. She came up just 2 minutes after my roommate left, so I know she didn't take the stairs, and I know they must have seen each other when my roommate got off the lift and the lady got in. Realizing that this is weird, I do not open the door when she rings it. I look through the peephole just to confirm that it was no one I knew or somebody I knew. Now at this point, I back away from the door and gesture for my friend to be silent. We creep back to my room, which is at the far side of the apartment, and I begin calling my roommate, who isn't picking up. Now meanwhile, the lady is insistently ringing my doorbell. Now my roommate is not picking up, like I said, and my friend is just telling me to open my door. In her mind, it's a woman, so she must be harmless. I tell her she's an idiot for underestimating the female sex. Women can be criminals too. She keeps telling me to open the door, and I refuse. The door keeps ringing. I keep looking out the peephole. At this point, I understand that if she knew my roommate or was looking for someone specific, she would just call or text them. She didn't take out a phone at all. She just stayed eerily silent. Didn't call out any names or ask if anyone was home, which this was weird to me. I finally got through to my roommate. She says she wasn't expecting anyone and that she doesn't know anyone in that age range. She asks if I'm okay, and I say I'm fine. Now, it's been at least 20 minutes, and I know the lady knows someone is home because the lights are on, and my understanding is that's why she's not leaving. I continue watching her through the peephole and see her go into the lift for a minute and then come back out again. Now, the lift is really loud, and I would have heard it move. It didn't. She just went in and came out. In my mind, this means someone is in the lift waiting for her. Now, to me, this screams sketchy. After about 40 minutes, she leaves. I run to our hall and flick the outside camera on. The lady left the building with 2 men. They all had packs on their backs. I will be eternally grateful for trusting my instincts and not listening to my friend. Sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry. This creepy lady with henchmen, let's not meet again.